If you have a friend that you know really well and trust, and that friend tells you to buy a really good book that he read, you will probably be pretty interested in reading that book, even though it might not be the usual type of book that you will go for. Compare that to you walking on the street, and then there's some book salesperson, and then they tell you like, this is really good book, try to buy it. You will probably not be so interested in buying it, because you know unconsciously that that person's job is to just to sell those books. So you know you're being sold to. That is called social proof. You trust your friend, and unconsciously when you're with this person, it's like your safe place and you're more open to things. Okay, same concept, different example. Let's say you're scrolling on social media on your phone, and you start to notice these pieces of content when people keep talking about this same book. You keep running into these videos about the same book, so you must be thinking that, damn, like all these people are thinking about the same book, like there has to be something special there, because people just keep talking about it. And now you're interested. Compare that to you scrolling on your phone, and then you run into an ad and it says like, there's this amazing book, you should buy it. Again, same thing, you know you're being sold to, you're probably not so interested if you don't know anything about this book beforehand. So I'm telling all this is to explain the difference between ads and organic content and how different they are. If you had a business, wouldn't you think that having the full control over that organic content at scale would be a good idea? Well, of course there's influencer marketing, but influencer marketing has its own problems and it's a bit risky, and you never really know the results what you're gonna get. But there is a new, better way to have control over this organic content, and it is called clipping army. And this army of clippers are gonna produce short form organic content to someone who wants more organic reach. And there are a lot of ways that clippers can make content, and the best thing is you get to decide everything. Do you want someone to clip videos of your already existing content, or do you want someone to create completely new content by themselves about your products? You will get to decide together with a clipping agency what type of content you want to be created, what you want, what you don't want. And if these clippers are not following these guidelines, you just simply don't need to pay them. Therefore, the whole thing is super risk-free. This way you don't need to worry about having some weird content being made or having a bad brand image when you have the full control over everything. And it's also low risk in the sense that you only pay for results. For example, a clipping army gets you 1,000 views. You will only pay them after they got those 1,000 views, or compared to if the clipping army gets you 1,000,000 views, you only pay them after the work is done. So it's really low risk. I remember thinking long time ago, before Andrew Tate's, before everything, many years ago, I was trying to figure out how artists could market themselves as well as possible. And I remember scrolling on social media like Instagram or something, and just like analyzing artist profiles, and I was just thinking like, this is so powerful, and how could we do this but just better and at scale? If it was possible, I would just like take all budget and just like shove it in there in the organic content. Because like, for example, for artists, like think about it, like how often do you find artists from an ad versus how often you just like find it from some random TikTok video, for example. So all the focus is in there, all the branding is there. Artists don't even have websites. People just look at their Instagram accounts. Like Instagram is their website. But anyways, I was just thinking, how could you do that but better with more volume, instead of just trying to like make as much content yourself as much as possible. And for artists, for example, it can look a bit spammy if your account is full of content you created yourself. That's why when you often like see artist accounts, they only have like some like few nice pictures like that they post like once a year or something. Some artists. But the point is that they are not like super spammy. Well, anyways, things have changed since then. Then we had Andrew Tate and a bunch of other people who built their own clipping armies, and that is the main reason why Andrew Tate blew up. It wasn't by chance, it wasn't by accident, it wasn't him posting on social media himself. It was a specific strategy of getting clippers to do content about him and spreading it. Remember when Andrew Tate blew up? It felt like all of a sudden, just overnight, the whole social media was full of Andrew Tate clips, like everywhere. He was everywhere. And it wasn't completely organic, or it just didn't happen by itself. It was made to happen. So yeah, it's really exciting time, because we are kind of in the middle of the clipping army being a unknown underground thing, and clipping army being like mainstream thing when all industries are gonna be using it. So we are kind of here in the middle, in the beginning still. So it's just exciting and really good opportunity, because obviously like once it becomes more mainstream, it becomes more saturated, it will be like less valuable to businesses. So like right now, right here will be like the best time to join and start doing this. And the best and easiest way to do this would be contact a clipping agency just like mine, and then they will just like handle it from there. All you would need to do as a business owner would be think about the budget and the guidelines and maybe like kind of what direction you want to go with the content, but that's it. Everything else the clipping agency will take care of. So let me know in the comments what you think about this. Do you have some questions about this? And I will continue yapping about clipping stuff on the next video. I will see you guys then.